Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable on our Route 66 road trip across America. We're going to stop now in dealership and visit our great friend, Tyler Nathan from Jupiter Warranty Management, who is in dealership working to help dealers collect receivables, checking those schedules, and hard at work. Tyler, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Hello, Ted. It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Tyler, and to the team at Jupiter. Congratulations. You got a lot of stuff, a lot of great stuff going on right now in the industry. And thanks for making the time to spend a few minutes with us here on the roundtable and to bring us up to speed.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right. I know you're in store right now, okay? And you're working in dealership, working with a particular group. Talk to us a little bit, because I learned recently that a big part of what you do is the on-site training, okay? And helping dealers improve time clocking and time punching so that the proper amounts are collected. It's so important, warranty receivables. Talk to us a little bit about that, if you would, Tyler.
Yeah, thanks, Ted. Yeah, absolutely. One of the things we found is that even if you have a really good warranty administrator, many times the administration is kind of the caboose on the train, if you will, right? So a lot has to get done before it ever gets to the caboose. And that's where sometimes dealers struggle. So you can have a huge degree of variance between, let's say, we'll have the same admin and they'll have, 5, 6, maybe 10 different dealerships. And there'll be a big difference between the quality of the claims that we get from some of those dealerships versus others. And so in recognizing this, we found that there was a lot that we could do to improve that by coming out to the dealership and launching the program. It not only does it help with communication, because communication is key with when you have an admin on site, it's a whole different feel than it is when you use an outside company. And once a dealership embraces that process, it actually will make their claims better. So they'll get better quality claims because it creates some accountability. But it also, communication is key. That has to happen. And so that's why we're here. And we're also here to talk about the manufacturer requirements.
So go back to what you just said on the communication side, because I agree with you. That's so important. The technician, the service advisor, warranty administration, the dealer, you've got the OEM, you've got a lot of moving parts here, Tyler. How do you work with dealers? I know a big part of what you do is remote, but the fact that you're there on dealership helping to set up this accountability, if you will, I think that's a big plus.
Absolutely, it is. So one of the things is that the whole RO starts. Well, it could start with your BDC making the appointment, or it could start with your advisor who's making the appointment. And it's important that the advisor, a lot of dealerships fail at selling appointments. You don't have to be draconian about it, but if they sell appointments, they can really protect that 15 to 30 minutes with their clients, where that advisor can get a really good write-up. And so that's one of the things that we bring to their attention when we come out here is, writing up a good story. And also that's going to help that advisor with sales later on. So if they spend that time doing the walk around properly, and actually, in a sense, we all know what order takers are. We go to, McDonald's or Burger King and rarely does the person behind the counter have any idea of what's really going on. And advisors have to overcome that. And the way they overcome it is by going to that vehicle and really checking that vehicle in properly. And so we help them. We talk about those things and make sure that they're going to get a good write-up. But then as it goes from there, it goes to the technician. The technician needs to clock properly, write good stories. And so I just, at this dealership I was at today, spent an hour and 20 minutes with their advisors and technicians in 2 separate meetings. And we drill down into what's specific for that OEM. But we also talk about how they can maximize the time that they're going to get out of the claim. Like, if they clock properly, this particular dealership uses CDK, and CDK has this option of using DW time. So in other words, they can clock on the ticket as W for going to work on the job, but then the techs can also use DW for indicating that that time is special. So like when they're asking for OLH time, if it's GM, or M time if it's Ford, or 00 time if it's Stellantis,
Okay.
that's what they would do, is they would use that. And so then it goes, then the final thing is that advisor is going to be that last person to really review the ticket. And if any of these things kind of break down in the process, what your question was specifically was, how do we create that accountability? Well, we're going to go to that source. So the advisor who generated that ticket, we're going to reach out to them, specifically also tag management in on it. And we set the management up so that they're not our warranty assistant. That's what you got to battle, is that sometimes when you hire a warranty company, you can turn your service manager into this person who's spending 2 hours a day chasing warranty items. And what we do is help set it up so that your team does most of that work, and then puts the manager in a supervisory position to oversee that process.
Tyler Nathan, everybody, from Jupiter Warranty Management. He's in dealership today, okay, working with stores. Tyler, you've mentioned to me over the last year or more several times on the show that there's a lot of money out there these days when it comes to warranty receivables. Here we are at the beginning of the year, January, just a couple weeks in. What do you see out there that dealers need to be aware of? Because you work with so many dealers, and here you are in dealership, on the front lines. What are you seeing out there that we need to be cognizant and aware of?
Well, that we get a lot of dealers that call us up and they're in trouble already. Unfortunately, the labor market's been tight for quite some time, and finding people who are skilled and experienced with warranty administration normally doesn't happen too much for a dealership, because they're limited to a range around their store. So a lot of times they're going through the back-breaking effort of training them, and it can take. Not everybody can do the job. Sometimes you can waste a lot of time working with somebody who just either doesn't appreciate the job, doesn't like the job, or just isn't good at it. And so dealers will lose a lot of money. That's the biggest loss, is that they don't collect. Those employees aren't after every dime that's out there in many cases. And then they also fall behind, and maybe they're getting most of them paid, but the hard ones are piling up. And next thing you know, you're writing off hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the size of the store. So that's definitely the biggest loss. But if they, even when a dealership has good administration, if they're weak on their stories and things, that can cost them a lot in audit chargebacks, of course. And then it can also cost them a lot in just missed opportunities.
Tell us a little bit more about adhering to things like OEM policies. Tyler, that's got to be constantly evolving and changing. There's new rules this week that may not have been in place weeks ago. How do you help dealers do things like that? I know you're on top of it because you're in so many different dealerships working with all of these OEMs, but how do you help dealers with that? It's got to be complex.
Yes, sir, it is. And that's why when you hire us, you're kind of actually getting several small companies, if you will, and each small company specializes in that particular OEM. So we have a lead person, that handles each OEM. So if it's Ford, we've got a Ford lead, or GM or Honda. And what we do is that lead makes sure that our admins are all staying caught up on the latest TSBs and the nuances, because you're right, they change a lot. Matter of fact, we've even experienced where we've hired an admin who's maybe been out of something for a couple of years. You bring them back in and they're so rusty because so much has changed in just 2 years. So it's very important to have somebody who's very, is up to speed on the most current stances. Now, I do come out to the dealership. I have specialized handouts that the lead admins work with me to develop, so that when I'm out here doing the training, that we're talking about those specific things. Like, for instance, a lot of people don't realize that Ford requires a repeat repair log. So you not only have a form you have to attach whenever there's a vehicle that returns within 6,000 miles or 6 months, and that has to be attached to it. GM has a battery sticker. I go into 60% of the GM dealerships and they don't know what a battery sticker is, but you're supposed to peel that sticker off and put it on the hard copy. So these are specific things that come about all the time. With Honda, it's required that you keep that rep's email. If for some reason you can't reproduce the rep's email, you can get charged back on a ticket if that's not attached to the repair order. So there's just each OEM has its specific things. Some of them, Toyota only allows you a single invoice. You cannot, some dealerships like to write up a ticket for warranty and one for customer pay. Most don't do that nowadays, but Toyota, you cannot do that for Toyota. So there's many different things that you have to know and be aware of. And of course, we document those in our handouts. We go out specifically and cover those things with each with the technicians, the advisors, and of course, management.
And Tyler, I would imagine that what you do at Jupiter, you're constantly submitting and reconciling payments on behalf of the dealer with your team, your skilled team. Am I correct in saying that? So you really take a lot of that off the dealer, and now you're handling to make sure that gets done properly.
Yeah, absolutely. So what also we have accountability built into our own system, which is very important, because what you don't want is any warranty admin who's also doing your adjusting and posting, right? So in a dealership, that's a mistake if the dealer totally relies completely on a warranty admin to do everything without any oversight. I ran into a scenario once where this poor dealership, they had paid this admin to keep things current, but they also had given her journal abilities. And so what she was doing was journaling money from claims that she could get paid to cover claims she couldn't get paid, and they didn't notice. And so when we came to clean up their claims, a lot of them had already been paid. She just stole the money. So, but with us, you don't have to worry about that, because what we have is a couple of things. We've got accountability built in. In other words, our admins are booking, closing, submitting. Then we have a posting person. That person's going to post payments for you, so they'll get the payments. And they're just almost like a computer. I mean, they're going to basically take that statement, key it in, and post it, make sure it balances. Then we have somebody else who does the journal basically chases after those differences. It creates what we call a JV, journal voucher. They're the ones who are going to determine, oh, okay, this was paid short, or this had extra money. What was it? Was it tax? Was it miscellaneous? Was it parts? And is it something we can get paid? If it is, we get it paid without even informing the dealer. We're just going to go after it. But if an adjustment needs to occur, then we provide them a detailed JV report. And in many cases, we provide that then to our posting person, who can post those adjustments for the dealer. Finally, we have what we call a schedule status report, where we're going to go through your schedule on a monthly basis and provide a report that's going to tell you if there's any aged balances. Very important. So that usually goes right to the owner or the GM, so that they're along with other management, so everybody's aware of anything that could possibly be aging.
Tyler, I was going to ask you if you ever find any risky procedures, but you just told us a story of one. So you're really an extra eyes and ears for the dealer, whether you're there in person or whether you're remote, because you know what to look for. And like you said, all too often, dealers find out when it's too late that these things have been going on at their store. Tyler, how about keeping the warranty schedules clean? I hear so much about that. You got to have clean schedules. I'm sure that's a big part of your platform.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, that's money that could be available for the dealer to utilize, rather than paying interest on their floor plan or something like that. They could have that money liquid. So you don't want money hanging out there. But the most important thing is that's where stuff gets hidden, then that later goes out of date, that you can't ever get paid. And it's all timely. So all the manufacturers are very timely. Some of the states have different varying laws that can protect you slightly, making it so that that some of the OEMs, you can kind of force them to give you a little more time depending on the state that you're in. But in most of the states, sometimes it doesn't really require a lot of time. You can have losses in 30 days, 60, 90 days. It's really fast.
Good reminder. These are all checks. This is all money. Okay, that's in these schedules. And like you said, I'd rather have it liquid, okay, than be waiting on it. So you really help the dealer and Tyler, this is a huge chunk of revenue for the dealership.
It is. It's usually in some OEMs, it's as low as 30%, but most it's somewhere between 40 to 60% of their service department income. Yeah.
Talk to us about, okay, we're hearing a lot the last 2.5 years or so, especially about compliance. A lot of things that have come to the surface. How do you help dealers on the compliance side? Because if you're a dealer, you've got to be compliant, and there's so many things that you may not even be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things we do is like I said, when we're here training and going over those specific things with the OEMs, we'll do that deep dive and make sure everybody's aware of it. Also, we're examining the ROs as we're closing them, and we're gonna, of course, stop the train, if you will, and ask for help from the dealership if we see something that's missing. So if we, like for instance, in Honda's case, the advisor is instructed to tell us that the email from the rep is attached to the repair order. If we don't see that in the comments, then we'll hold up the ticket and not submit it until the advisor has assured us that the email is attached. So that would be a good example.
And finally, Tyler, over the last year, you've been on the Fixed Ops Roundtable on behalf of Jupiter Warranty, and you've brought a number of dealer colleagues who are very well known and outspoken in our industry and are part of groups. How do you work with multiple franchises? Because you seem to do that extremely well. I know you work with a lot of single stores, but you do work very effectively with groups, and that seems to be growing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, it makes even more sense for groups to utilize the service because of the juggling of different lines that they have to work with, and each line is think of it like a language, because when you're a warranty administrator, if you learned, let's say that Mercedes was the line that you learned on, then every other line that you learn, you almost are translating it in your mind to Mercedes. And that's why people start off, maybe they started with Ford, and they'll think of things with a Ford way of looking at things. The same goes with, all of them, VW, Audi, all of them, Honda. And so it's very important. That's why being able to have a dealership or a company like us, we've got, over 170 employees. So we're able, and we have, out of those 170 employees, we probably have 130 of them are warranty admins or something like that. And those admins then are able to, we're able to send you to, be specific so that way they know that language the best. Now, we do have some that are multilingual, if you will, and can do a couple of lines or so, but we don't have any jacks of all trades. That's very important. You want to have experienced, skilled warranty administrators skilled in that OEM. And that's how you stay on top of that. And me, I only have to know a portion of it in the sense of the compliance part. And I get a lot of help from our team.
That's got to be a fortunate store to have Tyler Nathan yourself in the dealership, working with the techs and with the advisors. As is so often the case, Tyler, a lot of times fixed ops directors, general managers say to me, "Oh, well, warranty, we've got that covered. We've got our people in place. They've been here for many years." And then within a matter of months, maybe weeks in some cases, I'll hear from that same dealer, same general manager, and say, what was the name of the fellow who was on the show again at Jupiter Warranty? Because we have a need now. Tyler, how does our audience reach out to you, whether they're ready today or whether they may just have some questions, but that need may arise in the future? What's the best way? And I know you'll be at NADA in New Orleans this week.
Yeah, it'd be great to see him at the NADA show. We're looking forward to that. So please stop by. You can see our booth number there, 7820. But also, if you're not going to the show and you want to get in touch with us, the best thing to remember is warrantymanaged.com. Go to our website. There's a lot of videos. I believe some of these videos, Ted, with
yes,
are on there. And the main thing is there's a contact us page. Fill out the contact form, and we will immediately be notified, and we can reach out to you. Somebody will reach out to you as soon as possible, and we can get started in conversations.
I see a lot of the videos with you and I talking, and then when some of the dealers I mentioned earlier, I see them scrolling on social media. So Thank you so much for that, Tyler. You're a great part of our industry, extremely reputable. Jupiter Warranty Management, everybody, best in the industry, warrantymanage.com. Tyler Nathan is with us. They will be at NADA later this week. You see the booth number scrolling at the bottom, 7820. That phone number, is that a cell number, Tyler? Or
It is. That'll ring right to me. You're welcome to text it or call anytime. Now, it's turned off right now, so if you get voicemail, just leave me a message. I'll call you back.
all right. And Tyler's very active on social media as well. So look forward to all that's ahead, Tyler. And, charting these waters with you in 2025 and beyond for our dealer colleagues. Congratulations to you at Jupiter Warranty Management.
Thanks, Ted.
Everybody, Tyler Nathan with us here today from Jupiter Warranty here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.